Could have fooled me. Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Maybe at the front, you two? There isn't a front row anymore. It's very relaxed. No one is going to be called on.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSholem. Malachei Elyon, Malachei Elyon,
Shabbat Shalom on this very auspicious moment for us, our first moment back in the sanctuary, in the synagogue together. Shabbat Shalom to all of you at home. And I think we are going to get used to this double way of being together for our synagogue services. So I welcome you into the sanctuary. We are quite a crowd in the sanctuary. A reminder that we are not allowed to sing even behind our masks. Although one of my colleagues said basically, if I as a rabbi can't hear you singing, then you're probably doing okay. So if you want to mumble, hum along, just very quietly, that's fine. But gradually we will start to feel as normal back in the sanctuary, and we are filling the space. It is such a treat to be doing this with Shabbat Resouled back with us and to have 3 of you tonight. So we're going to light the candles. Those of you at home who have your candles ready, and I will light our candles here. And I think it is only right that we offer a Shehechianu for the first of many that we will be back in the synagogue together. So lighting candles on page 5 of the Shabbat Resouled Siddur. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, wishing you all here a peaceful, a relaxing, a special Shabbat, as well as those of you at home, hoping, of course, for the sun to shine and for us to get to the end of May with some semblance of summer. And now for all of us, and do join me, any of the reading here inside the synagogue, join me as we mark this moment of having been kept alive, kept upright, and able to arrive at this moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. So we turn to Lachadodi, page 9.
The God
page 10, as we've just opened the Baruch Hu, our public call to prayer, we've welcomed each other, we've welcomed Shabbat, and we now go into the two blessings before the Shema. But I'd like to read, as I have been doing the last few weeks, a prayer from Rabbi Mark Solomon that marks or captures this moment just before the Shema. You form light and create darkness. As time is a tapestry of day and night, our lives are a weaving of light and dark. Like a slow dawn, we discover who we are. Like twilight, we linger in doubt and anxiety. We endure nights of rejection by others and ourselves, and bright days of acceptance and joy in who we are. You make peace and create everything. We look around and see a world of endless change and diversity. As we rejoice in the variety of creation, we come to accept our own uniqueness. As we delight in our own uniqueness, we appreciate all human diversity and live at peace with ourselves and with all creation. Page 12, as we go to the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto. ושבתון לאות על ידך, והיו לטות נפות בעיניך, ונפל על מזוזות ביתך.
תזכרו, עשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. So we affirm the words of the Shema that we all offer together tonight, chanting with Resouled. We're on the foot of page 13. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. As we offer this evening prayer for peace that we offer every week and that at the moment feels so much more poignant for us, as we ask for the shelter of peace, of being guided in wisdom and compassion and trust, and to be shielded from hatred, sorrow, and pain.
Hashkilenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Ha'amidenu Malkeinu, L'chaim, U'shmo
So this feels really special to invite you all. When you are ready, stand up if you would like and join the band in offering the tefillah. We're on page 15. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot, umevi gula livnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר מושיע מגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, ואין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Do sit if you'd like to. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Top of page 18, as we hope our prayers have some meaning for us as a congregation together. And goodness, how different it feels to be praying as a congregation again inside the building and linked with all of you at home. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu b'yamcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'ahavat tekabel, u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha, Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadacha b'yirah na'avod. Now, as we offer moments of gratitude and appreciation, as we offer our blessing for thanks, please share in the chat, those of you who are at home, just what you feel grateful for, and we'll hear and I'll share with everyone in the building. I am really liking how we are connected, those of you in your kitchens, in your living rooms, and those of you here in the sanctuary. We thank and praise you for being our God and God of our ancestors. We can always rely on you and feel safe. We thank and praise you for caring for our lives, for connecting our souls with you, for the miracles of life, wonders large and small, that remind us you are here every moment of every day. We praise you, our God, and joyfully thank you for all life's goodness. So as we go tonight into Shalom Rav, our evening prayer for peace, I can see that there is gratitude for the ceasefire, even though I'm sure we all know that an immense amount of work needs to accompany it for it to be a lasting ceasefire. I'm seeing gratitude for Marian's father home from hospital after contracting COVID. I am seeing, we're very grateful for our Leslie Urbach, whose birthday it is today, and who gave a lecture last night, the night before she turned her next birthday. I am seeing Leslie saying how happy she is to be able to sing at home, knowing she couldn't sing here, but happy to get in here as soon as she can. Kathy, grateful for her mother recovering and this service. And Stanley said quite a lot that he's grateful for. So let us offer Shalom Rav, knowing that this evening prayer for peace takes on an extra poignancy for us.
Shalom Rav, Yisrael, Adonai, Amin Leolam, Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon, Devon HaShalom. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. So just as a reflection for us as we go into silent prayer tonight, there is so much happening in the world, particularly in Israel, for Israelis and Palestinians, and I think really also for us here as well, with the consequences in the diaspora. And just as last week I tried to carve out an oasis for us on a Friday night where we are not engaging with world politics, but actually are focusing on our own lives. But I would like to share the words that Rabbi John Rayner, Zichrono Livracha, wrote about the idea of peace, which for me really is as much about the peace we create in our own lives, the domestic world that we live in and the people that we share and rub up against, as it is for great sacrifices amongst nations. It is not enough to pray for peace. We have to work for it, to challenge those who foster conflict and refute their propaganda, to ascertain and make known the truth, both when it confirms and when it runs counter to conventional views, to denounce injustice, not only when it is committed against us, but also when it is committed against others, to defend human rights, not only our own, but also theirs, to insist that peace requires sacrifice of pride or wealth or territory, to practice and promote the ways of moderation, compromise and reconciliation, and to build bridges of respect and understanding, trust and friendship across the chasms that divide humanity and divide each of us from our fellow human being. May we manage that challenge in our own personal life and in the conversations we have with others. And let's take a moment to reflect. Let me add for us, may the Most High, source of perfect peace, grant peace to us, to all Israel, and to every living being. And let us say, Amen. So let's go now to Aleinu. You can find Aleinu on page 20. So let's turn to Kaddish. Those of us who are in the building, I invite you to stand. Those of us who are at home, however you normally mark Kaddish together. So as a congregation this week, we particularly mark the bereavement and death of Irene Kahan, widow of David and mother of Anne, Elizabeth and Jonathan. Irene's funeral will take place on Tuesday morning and Shiva will be Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. We also pause to mark the yahrzeits that fall in our congregation at this time. We think particularly of Deborah Sanders, mother of Rochelle Simmons, Zichrona Livracha, and of Hilda Richmond, mother of Paul Richmond, Zichrona Livracha. May her memory be for a blessing. May all those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we join them in the words of the Kaddish, saying together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shamei Rabbah, B'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayachon v'yomechon, Uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Magala v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam Omer Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitale v'talal, shmed kudusha brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'sherata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min Shamaya, v'hayem aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם, ואמרו, Amen. So let's sit down again as we finish our service together, all of us together at home and here. This week's portion, Naso, is the portion of the whole of the Torah that holds the priestly blessing. And so there is an even greater specialness for us to be serenaded tonight with the priestly blessing at the end of the service. We are having that, aren't we? Yes, we are having it. As we will be reading it from the scroll, from the columns of the scroll tomorrow. So the words, the threefold blessing from Torah, we're on page 27 in the Siddur. May God bless you and look after you. May God look kindly upon you and be very gracious to you. May God reach out to you in tenderness and give you peace. Amen. So we are going to close our service with a kiddush, which we can't all participate in, but at least you can go home having been blessed to the hilt. So we will offer kiddush now between Dean and I, and then I will enjoy walking out with all of you so that you can escort yourselves out while all of you at home can chat and have an alternative kiddush and connection with each other. A reminder, we are not allowed to chat outside our household groups, so you'll have to wave and smile warmly at other people. That might come in the next stage, the next step when we get to the end of June. But I think this has felt really different and special for us all. Over to you, Dee.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikrae kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'achata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen.
L'chaim, l'chaim. And for all of you at home, l'chaim. And now halot, which I'm going to try and do without touching. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Resouled. And thank you so much, all of you, for being the first ones back into the building, breaking the breach. So let me escort you out now, back into the rain.